Episode 81, Attachments. Good evening, I am Tomas Guevara, and this is the channel Rewriting the Reality. Subscribe to this channel to be aware of the changes that are happening right now concerning the shift in consciousness that we are presently experiencing. In today's episode 81, we are going to delve into attachments. Are any of you aware presently of attachments to your genuine identity and what they are? Probably you don't know, no problem. Let's explain it. Before getting into this complicated subject, let me tell you that I can't give you what you deny yourself. Jesus tried when he told us that we are gods, and still today we don't believe him. He told us to look for knowledge from within, but we continue looking outside of us. Pay special attention to this video because you can only identify genuine identity when you strip yourself apart from all the attachments that you think of as being a part of your identity, but they are not. And what is an attachment to your identity? An attachment is associated with your experiences, what you have learned, and what you have been taught. Some of these factors of what you have learned or what you have been taught, and what you have generated with your own experiences, become attachments to your identity. One simple example that would be associated with experiences: most individuals generate experiences regarding relationships, and you generate associations with those experiences. Associations are the assessments that you generate concerning any experience. You do this with every experience, you create an association. Some are more obvious and stronger than others, but with every experience, you generate an association. With that evaluation of your experience, you generate an assessment of whether the experience is good or bad. Therefore, an association is an assessment with the attachment of good or bad concerning an experience. I kissed a girl, and it was good. The kiss is the experience, the association is the evaluation of the experience. The kiss was good. Now, about experiences and associations, many times you generate repeated experiences, or you generate experiences that are very similar to each other. I kissed a girl several times, and each time it was good. In that situation, what you are doing is you are reinforcing the association. In that situation, the association becomes stronger and stronger, not that you always engage in thinking about the association, but it is registered. Your body consciousness stores all memory, therefore, all your experiences are stored in memory with your body consciousness. If all your experiences in memory are stored with the body's consciousness, so also your associations, whether the experience was good or bad. In this, some associations and experiences become so familiar and so much a part of what you do that they become attachments to your identity. They can become shrines, but they do not begin as being shrines. They are attachments. In this, an individual may express that regarding relationships they are an individual that enjoys being very playful. That may not necessarily actually be a part of the individual's genuine identity. It may be a part of their experience. It may be that in their experience, again and again, what they enjoy most of all in relationships is to generate playful relationships, or to be silly, or to be very active. That may or may not be an actual part of the individual's genuine identity, but it most definitely will be a part of an attachment that is formed from the individual's experiences. Another attachment can be: I am not very accomplished at relationships, I do not function well within them, I always seem to generate disruptions and cannot seem to create a lasting ongoing relationship. This may not be the individual's genuine identity, but it is their experience. Therefore, they generate an attachment to their identity and express that that is them. This is me, I cannot generate a successful relationship. Because the individual's experience is that they have not been successful yet in attempting to generate a relationship. That is not who they are, but they may begin to generate this addition or this attachment to their identity, which is a part of their experiences, not necessarily who they are. That is an example of experience being an attachment. There are other types of attachments to your identity, elements that are learned or that are taught. Learned is not always taught. You can, in your terms, learn without being instructed. An individual may generate a perception and an assessment of themselves that they are clumsy. Because in their experience, they generate a tendency to perhaps not pay attention very closely to what they are doing, and perhaps they generate an awkwardness physically. Therefore, they learn about their body consciousness, and they generate an assessment, and with that assessment, they attach to their identity, I am not physically coordinated. That may not necessarily be accurate or correct, and it may not be a part of their genuine identity, but they have attached it to their identity. Now the individual associates this is a part of me. This is a part of who I am. No, not necessarily. One very large attachment that will be addressed and that we all share is the attachment that is the gem of ourselves and our societies. This gem is very precious, we all value this gem very much. This attachment is independence. We all want independence. We all value independence. You all want to be independent, and you will sacrifice for independence, for this is a very prized gem. And what do you equate independence with? Freedom. The term independence is almost synonymous to you with freedom. I will express to you presently that independence is not freedom and bears little resemblance to actual freedom. Independence is binding. Because with independence, it incorporates its tentacles, which create its attachments. With independence comes responsibility and control and right choices. These are the foundations of independence. If you are independent, you must make the right choices. You must be responsible, and you must be in control of that independence to maintain it. And the maintenance of independence is an ongoing job. How do you perceive the term job? Work. Independence is a job. It requires considerable energy to maintain. In this, let me express that whatever the attachments are that you generate so very strongly with your identities, we are not discussing this subject to eliminate it. It is not that independence is entirely bad, for there are many aspects of independence, or any attachment, that are beneficial and that do serve you. But there are also aspects of attachments that are binding and that are obstacles and that are a hindrance. With independence, one of the obstacles and one of the hindrances is that independence is a moving away from. You do not become independent to, you are independent from. Independence is the action of moving away from some aspect of your reality. Generally, what you think of that you are moving away from is some type of obstacle or some type of restriction, but independence is a restriction. One of the largest restrictions that is expressed in independence is that it discourages interconnection, and it discourages receiving. For, why shall you receive? You can do it yourself. Why shall you be interconnected? You can be yourself. You can accomplish it yourself. There is no binding or holding upon you if you are independent, but is there? If you incorporate a home and you maintain this home for you are independent, this home now is your responsibility, and in that, those three factors are very much in play. When you are independent, all that is within your environment, all that is within your focus is within your charge. Whatever you associate with your independence is within your charge. You are responsible for it. Therefore, you are also in control of, and therefore, you must make the right choices about what you control and what you are responsible for. What are those right choices? This generates tremendous confusion and conflict for many individuals, for it is a continuous struggle to decipher what are the right choices to engage in my independence. When you are entirely independent, you are less likely to allow helpfulness from other individuals. You are less likely to receive gifts unless they are warranted. But if they are not warranted, if they are merely offered freely for no reason, that is not entirely necessary. It is not necessary for you to offer me a gift. I can offer myself a gift. I do not need anything from you. I can care for myself. I do not need help, for I can solve my dilemmas. And even when you do allow for helpfulness, you allow that when you are more in the direction of desperation or when you perceive that you entirely cannot solve a problem yourself. Then you will engage or enlist helpfulness on your terms. Therefore, many aspects of independence are binding. But it is not merely independence, that is one attachment. It is a very large attachment. It is one that all of us share and that all of us view as a very precious gem, but there are many different attachments. The point of this subject is to understand that who you are is not necessarily what you do. Who you are is not what you have learned. It is not what you have been taught. Another example, an individual may, in their genuine self, generate a direction in the free flow of their expression that they incorporate no actual preference concerning relationships and partners. Perhaps the individual naturally expresses in a manner to not necessarily couple themselves, and perhaps the individual in their natural identity and expression, if allowed, would generate many relationships with many individuals and would not necessarily couple themselves with any. But that same individual, concerning what they have learned, and what they have been taught, may reach an age of early 20s, shall we say, and shall move in a direction of seeking out a partner and couple themselves with this partner with the plan and the idea of being coupled, engaging a family, incorporating a home, generating a particular career. This is what the individual has been taught, what the individual is supposed to do. Many individuals do engage in these types of actions and are comfortable with that and are moving in a natural direction, but many are not. This is merely one example, in which that individual may generate those experiences and may choose those directions and may not necessarily be entirely comfortable. They may tolerate what they are doing. I would not necessarily express that they accept it, but this is what is expected, this is what they expect of themselves, this is what you do, and therefore, this is what I shall do. And they do, and they may be safe. They may be, at times, neutrally comfortable. The individual may at times generate genuine comfort in moments, but overall, they are merely existing. They are not honoring their genuine self. They do not even know who their genuine self is. For, what they see of their genuine self is all the attachments. Now, what is the point of being aware of the attachments? The point is when you know and you can identify these attachments to your identity, you can also recognize this is not necessarily actually me, this is what I do or this is what I want to do, not what I must do. Attachments create the have-tos, the musts, the shoulds, the should-nots. The genuine identity does not incorporate the shoulds, the should-nots, the have-tos, the musts, the must-ts. Those are not associated with your genuine self. Now, this is not to say that you do not choose those aspects, those expressions of attachments, or even that you do not want to choose some of them, you do. There are aspects of all your attachments that you prefer, that you actually like, that you want to express. Therefore, they are not necessarily bad, but they are limiting, if you are not aware of them. How many individuals discount themselves very strongly and then justify it, expressing, "But this is me, this is who I am, I cannot change that." Yes, you can. For your genuine self is not as limited as the attachments that we place upon us. These attachments can either be a very hard encasing shell that you cannot shine through, or they can be adorning decorations. They create interesting, wondrous, and curious patterns that you shine through. But in many situations, they are the hard shell that does not allow you to express yourself genuinely and freely in who you are. Some individuals are natural observers and are comfortable and naturally express not engaging. But they may be within the midst of a group of individuals, and other individuals may be pressing to engage. Therefore, they do, because they should be speaking with other individuals. But that may not necessarily be your genuine self. Therefore, what should you be doing? And why should you engage in a manner that is not natural to you? I will continue tomorrow with this subject. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and I wish you all a happy new year.